gonna do an update on this. What are we gonna talk about? Nothing is going on. This is the part of the hobby that sucks, huh?
Yeah.
The first couple weeks, it's such a strange hobby. Because you spend money and you set it up and then you wait, you sit. It's kind of silly like that. There's not really any other hobby like this. No, if you're into, oh, phone. Your hobby, what's another example? People that are into this are into like a lot of other hobbies. Yeah. They're like pet keepers. Yeah. Reptiles, you go and buy a snake, you got a snake, that's it. You don't got to cycle a snake or a tarantula or a gecko.
Ready to go.
You're ready to go. You get that instant gratification, but not in this hobby. You have to spend the money and then wait. So what do we do while we're waiting, guys? We drink. No, we don't drink. Okay, Tia drinks. Tia likes her red wine. We test, right? We test. The fun part about the hobby, the testing. So what are we gonna test? Let's go through our little drawer here. Our testing drawer. Look at this. Let's see what's in here. A Cybon refractometer, because that's our favorite. And then a lot of Aquaforce test kits. Go back and watch the other video. We just spent a lot of time talking about these guys. But they don't offer nitrate, nitrite, and ammonia. Okay, so I guess since there's not much going on, we're gonna look at these very important values when starting a new tank. Oh, let me change the order. It actually goes like this. So Salifert makes these great test kits that you may want to pick up if you're starting a new tank, because this is how we watch or how we can visually see the nitrogen cycle on new tank. And there's really nothing exciting to talk about right now. I would have expected to maybe see some algae starting. I'm going to talk to you about maybe how we can kind of speed this up a bit. Is today second week? Yeah, second week.
This is going into the second.
This is going to the second week. Today's Sunday, so it's been 7 days. So we've added our bacteria, and let's see if we got any ammonia in the water, and we should have ammonia, maybe some nitrite, hopefully see some bacteria working. Just a quick rundown on the nitrogen cycle. What we're waiting for before we can add corals and fish and inverts and that stuff into the tank is for bacteria to be present on this rock. So we have our dry rock here, and we want it to become live rock. So what does that mean? We're waiting for this rock to get colonized with denitrifying bacteria, which is going to take this ammonia. So we get ammonia in the tank from fish waste and things that decay like fish food turn into ammonia, which is very harmful to live animals in the tank. So the way in which we control that is we get our live rock. Our live rock, basically the bacteria that lives on it is going to consume this ammonia, and ultimately it's going to turn it into this less harmful byproduct called nitrate. So that's your nitrogen cycle there. If you want to visually see it, denitrifying bacteria is consuming ammonia and then turning it into nitrite and then ultimately nitrate. Very poisonous, not so poisonous. Can't keep fish, keep fish. Very, very bad, not so bad. So there's not a lot going on, like I said, with the tank. So we're just going to see if we have any visible signs. I'm going to go ahead and do these tests and then show you what the results look like after being set up for 1 week. Okay, we're going to have Matt test the ammonia, but in the meantime, we got in a bunch of new nice corals from Indonesia. So maybe I could just take a minute here and show you some of the really cool blastomusas. These are awesome, very nice, red, puffy. This shipment actually came incredibly healthy, so it's not unusual to lose a few corals when we get new corals in. On this one, we lost one Christmas favia, so it came in super, super healthy. Polyps already out on a lot of them. Like this usually would take a few days to look like that. They look great. These are really nice. These larger kind of ultra acanthophilias and some nice open brains. Tons of euphilia, frog spawns, octospawns, hammers, torches, lots of nice torches. So I think Indo's probably got the nicest torches out there. These they don't look like much now, but these are like colored down dragon soul torches. So what that means when I say colored down, sometimes corals, when they're stressed, they drop their bacteria that actually gives them the color, and they have to color back up after shipping. So even if you've ordered from us, you may sometimes notice the coral looks stressed, and it can take a week, 2 weeks before it really shows off its color again. So a lot of corals like that come colored down, especially SPS or acros. It doesn't really happen with zoas. They usually look as good as they're going to get as soon as they open. These are really cool. Nice mix and variety. But yeah, lots of nice new corals, so we'll go and see how Matt's doing with the test and see if we have any ammonia in the water. Damn, sorry, one more. These mushrooms are really neat. I've never seen these before. So they're like a green sort of redactus with these yellow, I don't know what you want to call them, stripes. But I'm praying that these things are going to bounce, because this is the type of mushroom you'll sometimes see form those vesicles and bounce and become really, really cool. So not sure why they do that, but I'm really, really hoping that these guys do. And a couple really beautiful milliporas here. These came in looking super healthy. Polyps out. This is not even a day, maybe 1 day. But they look really good. Like, color is really nice, and polyps out. That's a great sign. None of these died. Shipped really, really well. Very happy with color and size. They're bigger than what I'm used to for maricultured SPS acropora. So means that they're growing them out there in the farm. Okay, enough with corals. Let's go look at the tests. Okay, guys, I'm gonna cheat. I'm going to take a piece of live rock, and I'm going to add 1 piece of live rock to this tank to kind of help the cycle along. And I'll explain to you why I'm doing that. See that little pod? Please focus. Come on, camera. See that little pod right there? Copepod. He just came off of this new piece of live rock I introduced. And he's not a pest, but he is technically, I guess, a hitchhiker. So why am I adding this piece of live rock to the tank? By adding a piece of live rock, this is already covered in bacteria. It's going to help the cycle along. It will cycle without it. You don't necessarily need it, but it's the bacteria that's already living on that rock is going to quickly colonize these other pieces here. So this is what we call like a seed rock. So it'll jump from this one to these ones. Oh, this guy's going to get sucked up the filter. So it just helps the cycle along to get the bacteria going. But the problem with that is sometimes you will get pests. So this here is a little copepod or amphipod, I can't really tell. So yeah, it's great, I'm helping the cycle along, but I just got this little pod, which is good because I want copepods in the tank, but it also can be a downside too. Okay, so how is it a downside? That pod could have easily been a worm or crab or something undesirable. So when you're adding live rock, it's great, it's live, cycles much quicker, but you have no idea what else is living inside that rock. And it's very common actually to get pests. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting a tank like this. If you can just do it without live rock, just do it all with dry, it's still going to cycle the same. You don't need it. I just thought about it and thought I could add it to the video and to the tank and explain why some people do it. I'm going to take it out after because it doesn't kind of match. It stands out quite a bit because it's matured a lot faster than the other pieces. It's quite an eyesore. But eventually they're all going to turn like this. They're going to have green and purple and red and all that nice coralline algae that we expect to see with an older tank. Just looking at ammonia here, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but little to no ammonia present. A touch, there is some in there. We got Matt doing nitrite right now, and something he mentioned that is true. You don't actually have to test for ammonia and nitrite if you're following the steps of the cycle. And you just wait the 4 weeks, it's going to cycle. If you've added ammonia, you've added live bacteria, you have rock in there, eventually you're going to see nitrate. But if you like to follow the progress and see 100% that you don't have any harmful things in the water, this is a good idea to go out and grab some test kits. Okay, one other thing we can check in the meantime, because we've never used this light before. I just grabbed it off Amazon. It could be crappy, but we're going to check with the par meter. It's right on the surface. And we are getting 200, which is actually pretty good. Okay, let's see on the rock. So where we're going to place most of the corals, we're getting readings of. It's actually surprisingly good for a $30 like Amazon light. Yeah, let's see on the sand.
100 now.
100 on, that's actually perfect. 100 on the sand is
softies.
Yeah, softies, some LPS. That's what we're looking for. So this little $35 light. Yeah, so you can switch. It's on the full spectrum mode. It does have a blue only mode.
Other way, yeah.
Yep, so just blue.
Right at the top, we're getting...
Wow, nothing. Quite
yeah, that's
yeah, you're not growing any coral.
No,
you would sustain maybe the most basic of corals. Yeah, they're going to die. That's too low. Yeah. So there's no way you could use it on just the blue mode, unless you wanted to kind of just watch the corals under blue. But with the full spectrum, that's actually surprisingly high. That's good. 100 on the sand bed, we can expect to keep most corals except, you know, maybe we'll throw in some Monty actually on top and see what happens. See if we can keep hard corals. But first impressions on this, what is it called? J-Hill. $30 Amazon light, not too bad. Okay, so I guess we'll see finally when we actually put corals in, we'll see how it performs. The par readings is just one value that we look at. completely clear on nitrite. So you know what, not even worth testing nitrate because there's not going to be any in there. We're too early in the cycle, so not much going on yet. There's a little bit of ammonia. I don't see anything, eh?
Completely clear.
Completely clear. Yeah, so we're going to add maybe even some more ammonia, some more bacteria.
Yeah.
I wish we had more to talk about, but this is kind of how it goes when setting up a tank. It's just a waiting game. So I think that's about it for today's video. Little Astria came on the rock, another hitchhiker, a good one, but who knows if there's another one. So you know what, we'll do Sunday next week, we'll do another update. We'll see what's going on. We'll see if maybe this rock is going to help our cycle along. We may add a little bit more ammonia to the tank, maybe a little bit more bacteria to get it going. But yeah, not much really to document. Very normal for a new reef tank, boring and white and clean. And yeah, not lots. Now we have a little pet copepod in here, so we have something to look at, I guess. But that's it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, comments, as usual, info at the end. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Happy reefing. This is Fragbox TV.